So today I'm going to teach you guys exactly how to hatch out baby brine shrimp. So I make lots of breeding videos here on this channel, like a lot of them, and I constantly talk about baby brine shrimp. I've made videos in the past, but today we're going to do like an updated video and show you guys how we hatch out baby brine shrimp here at the fish room. So over here, I've got 3 baby brine shrimp hatcheries. These are all Zis brine shrimp hatcheries. I'm not sponsored by these guys, but they do work pretty well. And we run these on a rotation. So at the moment, we're only harvesting brine shrimp once in the morning because the temperatures here in the room are a little bit cooler at about 21 degrees Celsius. So because of that, the brine shrimp hatches out slower. But in summer, we use 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon when the temperatures are about 26 to 28 degrees Celsius. So today, this is the brine shrimp that we're going to be harvesting. So the way I harvest it is just turn the air off and we let it settle down, and we can even grab a light. And these little guys are actually attracted to light. So we're just going to let them settle down, and we're going to see them come all the way down here to the bottom of the cone. We're going to leave these for like 2 to 3 minutes and come back and show you when they've settled down we can harvest them. Alright, so we've just let it settle, and you can see all the brine shrimp fall down to the bottom here. So you can also track them with a bit of light, but what I do from here is just simply harvest them. So, and you'll see all this liquid gold coming out. This is all of the hatched baby brine shrimp. Now there is going to be a few shells in here, and I've hatched out brine shrimp with my friend Dean, who's super particular, and he actually filters them out with like a really fine sieve. And I find that, like, obviously I like to keep things really simple, that this doesn't really hurt the fish so much. People say they choke, like fish choke on the little capsules and die. I haven't really found it to be the case. I'm sure maybe if it does affect it, it could be like a really, really small issue, but I find that basically this is good to feed. Even with the salt water, I don't really stress so much about it causing issues with the fish or anything like that. I mean, sure, it's a bit cleaner if you do filter it out. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do, but I just don't do it. So I literally will just feed this brine shrimp. Now, if you look in close, you'll see there's tons of these little tiny saltwater organisms going through the water, and these are actually the exact same as sea monkeys. So like back in the day when people used to have the sea monkeys, this is what you were hatching out, and you can grow them up bigger, but we hatch them out and feed them on the same day. So we'll go around and feed a few tanks, and you'll see the fish go nuts. So maybe we'll feed these guppies. Actually, no, we'll feed these guys. Like I said, I'll just take it with the salt water, with the eggs, and feed it like this. And most of what I'm feeding here is actually live baby brine shrimp, but these fish can never resist it. They go absolutely nuts. It's super beneficial for them. So the way we set this up is we'll harvest the rest of this out, make sure we've got all of our brine shrimp, because I don't want to waste any of it because it is quite expensive. Now, the way we set this up is I've got videos as well you guys can go and watch. You don't need to buy a hatchery like this. I definitely recommend it. But you can make little water bottle hatcheries and things like that as well. It doesn't need to be complicated. But what I do is take this hatchery, and after every hatch, I try and give it a really good clean, just under the tap. So I pour out all this junk. Just get in there and clean it. I'll even get in here with a sponge and just give it a real good clean out. Get all that filth out of here, because that filth's just going to keep building up and building up over the coming days of continually feeding this stuff. So give it a nice clean out, the rest of the crap drain out. And now we've got a nice clean brine shrimp hatchery here. Now, one of the things I have learnt about hatching brine shrimp is I used to fill up the brine shrimp with tap water, just like this. Now, this does work, but what I've found is that I think my tap water has chloramines in it and chlorine, and without neutralising this, I feel like it does slightly impact the hatch rate of the brine shrimp. So what I do now is fill it up with tank water. So come with me. What I'll do is just take the brine shrimp hatchery to like an aged aquarium and fill it up with some old aged aquarium water. And we'll go out the back room. Now, ignore all this rubble. All this. What we're going to do is I normally do 1 tablespoon of salt per, I think this is 2 litres of water, so a gallon. So 1 tablespoon of salt, and then I just do as much brine shrimp as I want to hatch. Normally 1 to 2 teaspoons of brine shrimp eggs, but that's because I'm feeding a whole room. You might not need to feed that much, so you just got to start playing around with it and you'll figure it out. But as for salt, I literally use pool salt. So let's take 1 of these. Probably take another one too. Like that. So I think just add a little bit more. I guess that much salt if you want to use like eye measurements. And then we'll take our eggs. 1 teaspoon of this. Put it in like that, and another one as well. You can see that's all ready to go now. So we'll take this back over to the hatching station, and we'll just set this back up with some air. And we'll grab this and get it bubbling again. So you can see now this one is all set up, ready to go. This will be ready in approximately 24 to 36 hours, depending on the temperature. I would never recommend hatching brine shrimp below 20 degrees Celsius, it just won't work. So if you've got a cool house and you're hatching brine shrimp outside of the tank that you're going to feed it to, sometimes people don't get a hatch because their house is too cold, so the brine shrimp take too long. In 24 hours, you'll see them start to hatch, and you'll get like 1 or 2 hatching here and there. But at 36 hours, it'll get this nice deep orange colour, and that's how you know it's ready to hatch or harvest. So what's going to happen now is we're going to harvest probably this one tomorrow morning, and then this one the day after, and this one in 3 days' time. So it'll be like quite a long time before these are actually harvested. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else to mention. I mean, it's pretty easy to hatch them out, and definitely something I'd recommend. Can you think of anything? It is pretty straightforward. It's something that I recommend everyone to do if you're a breeder. So, or even if you've just got a community tank at home, it doesn't hurt. So yeah, thanks so much for watching the video, guys. I hope this makes it like a little bit less scary for you to do. This is exactly how I do it. It's not a complicated process at all, and it's just like a routine. So if you can get in that routine of hatching them out, you'll get the hang of it, and just get your hands dirty, get your hands wet, start playing around with it, and you'll figure out pretty quickly how to hatch it out. It's not tricky at all. So, and it's probably the easiest live food you can get, because the fact that this is live makes the fish so much more receptive to feeding to it, and yeah, it helps a lot with our breeding. So sweet, thanks guys.